Relatively. Things are moving. Wait.
Wait,
There's a Kevin.
there we go. Wait, did you have audio muted
I
again?
had desktop muted.
Oh man,
Because
that would have been bad.
that would have been real bad. I would have been real mad.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, when I streamed Among Us 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
apparently Discord streamer mode completely cuts off audio chat.
Oh really? That's a good feature.
So I go to watch the VOD, and I was like, oh, I wonder how that did. Fucking, you can only hear me and sometimes Juliana yelling in the background.
That's funny. That's really funny. That makes for a good stream. It's fine.
I haven't had any crashing issues in the last 2 weeks.
So was it that? Was it the thing? That
I gutted the drivers.
Oh, just total
Complete.
catch up.
I
Nice.
did drive, display driver uninstaller, full
Yeah.
run, full swap, complete uninstall, reinstall. No old. I think that might have been it. Was there were all the old settings from, like all the old settings from the Radeon software were trying to mesh with the new settings, and something just wasn't working. So I just gutted it, completely wiped any semblance of any drivers on my computer at all,
Yeah.
and reinstalled the new ones.
Good
The
stuff.
newest version of anything. So
Oh man, dude. Speaking of drivers, we'll just get right into it. The latest rumor for Big Navi
oh
is
yeah,
that it features a 2.4 gigahertz game clock speed.
like
So that's
just
not even boost clock. That's just game clock, which means it might boost up to like 2.6 or 2.7.
bro.
And then supposedly it's using some sort of, well, possibly might be using some sort of new tech called Infinity Cache. So I don't know. Like the 28th it can't get here soon enough. So
Yeah, because that's like the whole 3000 series was announced, and we're like, yay, it's exactly what we expected.
yeah. I mean, I expected a little more. I feel like a lot of people did, but and they're still running into issues. There's a rumor that Nvidia might go over to TSMC's 7 nanometer to pump out more 3000 series because they're having
Production
assuming shitty yields. Yeah, shitty yields on Samsung. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I feel like Nvidia was swinging for the fences and they just flopped hard.
Yeah. And actually, that reminds me of a GIF I literally saw today. As you see, is a baseball game in Japan,
Yeah.
and you see it, and the guy slams it out, and it looks like it's going. You see one of the outfielders, he runs, and he like jumps, and like he gets down, and he kind of slumps,
Yeah.
and he's walking back, and then like it cuts to the guy running around the bases a little bit, and then it cuts back to the outfielder, and he just pulls the ball out of his glove and hucks it because he caught it.
That's funny. Oh my god.
And then you get to then the infielder gets to the or then the runner gets to home because he ran his base when he was out. He gets to home, and then like it cuts, and it's just him staring up at the replay on the big screen.
That's funny. Oh man. I couldn't even. I would just be devastated. I'd be like, just end me.
I know,
End me
right?
now.
Right? Fuck.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm curious. I'm gonna see what Big Navi does. It should be awesome. Hopefully.
That will be yeah. I'm excited to see where that goes. If for no other reason than the 5600 or 57s and shit are all gonna be like cheaper.
Yes. And I mean, on that topic, how about Ryzen 3? Holy shit!
That's what I mean. It's like Ryzen 3 came out, or Ryzen 3 was announced, and it did pretty much exactly what everyone was expecting, up to and including the point where it's now more expensive than Intel.
I was not expecting that much performance gain.
So like
Honestly,
everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's more expensive than Intel," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, but the price per performance is probably still better."
it's still there. Not to mention, they AMD literally has no competition right now,
Oh no,
which means they can set their prices. It's the same thing
hmm
Intel's been doing for the last, what, 10 years,
yeah,
12 years,
since fucking
15 years.
Sandy Bridge or
Like,
whatever the fuck it was.
yeah, like 14 years. So, well, 14, 15.
I mean, we're
I
on
can't math. I'm
14
not good at
nanometer
math. 12.
plus 5.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, granted, Intel's like, oh, we're gonna compete with the next iteration, but it's like, are you?
You've been saying that for
Like,
3 iterations now.
yeah, I mean, ever since the whole oh, AMD super glues their chips thing, like, it's been on just a downward spiral for Intel.
Especially when
Which,
Intel's like constantly like only talks about them compared to the competitor instead of just how good they are.
yeah, that's just funny.
And I love how they showed the gauge, the graph of how all the different games did, and then like Battlefield 5 was like 3% less good than the Intel chip,
Yeah, and it's
but
like,
everything else
whoop de
was
do.
10 plus.
Yeah, I think the overall 20% performance in games versus like Ryzen 2, that's fantastic. I mean,
That's huge.
their IPC is just ridiculous at this point,
Oh
and
yeah.
damn, that's all I can say. I mean,
Right.
don't get me wrong, I'm happy with my Ryzen chip. I have no issues with
Oh,
it.
same.
I probably, realistically won't upgrade for quite some time, but just knowing that if I were to and I'd still get the performance gain, that's fantastic. Like,
Yeah. Like the only way I'd reasonably upgrade is I would literally just go to the 7 or 9 3000 series chip because
yeah.
that would be plenty
Oh yeah.
of an
No.
upgrade, and that's only going to be if I start going hard on video production like I want to.
Yeah. And I mean that makes perfect sense.
Because I've been
So
thinking about like I think I talked to you about like the sort of plan that I have laid out where I want to do kind of document my mini painting journey because
oh yeah.
I have like 145 models to paint,
It's a lot of models.
and I've been given the strict guideline by a certain unnamed someone that I can't get any more models until I have completed 75% of what I already have. And I did the math, and that's 109 minis.
uh just uh just for the viewers, blink twice if you're safe.
I did.
Okay. That's
We're good.
that's all we needed
I
to
did.
know.
We're good. We're good.
That's funny. Speaking of those miniatures, I took a look at those, that link you sent me with
Oh, yeah, for the
um
charity?
yeah, for the charity. Dude, those, I mean, all of them look
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah. And,
Uh
like, that's just one of the armies. There,
yeah.
there were 4 armies total, and they all look fantastic.
Yeah, I was blown away. It still, it like, it just blows me away. With just like the minis, the painting. I looked at those and I was like, God, I really want to buy one. But then I was like, this would probably awaken something terrible that I would probably financially ruin myself if I started buying minis.
Well,
So,
and that's the thing is you're buying them. You're buying a completed army.
yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. But still, I just feel
Plus, why
like
would you paint them yourself when you could pay your good buddy Zach to paint them for you?
well, that's the thing. I would, because I know you are way better at this, and I don't know if it's something I personally want to learn, but for me it's that artwork. It's the art that I want. It's
Oh yeah,
it's that. It's not necessarily, hey, I want to do this as a hobby. It's, holy shit, that looks really good. That person spent a lot of time on that, and I want to buy that. So, It's yeah.
That's fair.
I feel like that's a slippery slope that I'm probably not gonna go down. Uh, because that's dangerous and that could, just be awful. Plus, I'd have to figure out how to display them and like put shelves up, and I mean that's just
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out too. At
be
the rate I'm,
trips to IKEA in the future
I
for
don't know, or
you.
like everybody, like I was actually listening to a podcast by a couple mini painters, and like they were actually talking about. Apparently, everybody just gets like one specific thing from IKEA. And it's like
Oh, really?
every mini painter just has this like curio cabinet,
That's funny. That is
but they'll
hilarious.
make
That's
like
awesome.
mods to it to make it more of a display case. Like they'll seal it with felt around all the doors
Mm.
so that no dust can get in.
Oh
And then
yeah, that that
they'll
no.
like run because I guess there's a bar down the middle, and they'll run like LEDs down that bar to make it
That's funny.
a display, or in the corners or some shit.
That's great. There's probably one guy who literally has like the vacuum sealed, like he built some just sort of vacuum sealed like clean room. He just puts them in there and just like totally vacuums it out and keeps it
Get your
perfectly
fluffy
clean.
butt. Sitting here and the cat just grabs me.
I need you now.
Daddy!
Oh, it's yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know what.
to kind of explain my whole process with the model I'm painting for you. I'm not going to give you any details, but like I
Good.
was
No details.
because I was like I'm just gonna like I planned it in 3 phases. I was gonna get it all painted up, nice and pristine, and like make it look like it was fresh and ready to go, and then just
Beat
slather it
the
in
hell out
battle,
of it.
just beat the hell out of it, slather it in battle damage. And I
Perfect.
posted a progress pic in my Discord server, and everyone's like, I know that's paint, but at a glance, it just looks like a die-cast model with paint chipping off of it.
Nice.
And I'm like,
Nice.
perfect.
Wait, I'm not in that. Am I in that Discord?
No,
I'm
you're
not.
not in that one.
Okay. Okay. I was like, crap. I can't click on that then if that's the case. Ever.
You're not in that server.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I just want to make sure because, like I said, I don't want to spoil it at all for myself. I want to know what it looked like going into it, totally fresh,
Yep.
no paint, and then just see the finished product. And I'm definitely excited for it. It
When I
really makes me want to get more stuff painted. So,
I will say I'm not a huge fan of painting on this material
I would imagine that's an issue, considering how
because
porous it is.
like well, and I primed it, so that's not the issue. So
Okay.
I put actual primer on it, so that's fine, whatever. It's the difference in texture across the model.
Really?
So the one side is nice and smooth and the details are there and it looks really good. And then you
Yeah.
go to the other side and it's like fucking 60 grit sandpaper.
Interesting.
So there's
Man,
no
if
it's
chemical polishing wasn't so expensive, I probably would send them out for that, and then you'd have a nice smooth surface to go work on.
that makes me wonder how it would take like just sanding.
That's true. I mean, if you went at it with really, really light sand, yeah, I mean, I think that would be fine.
Cuz I've got like 1000 grit sandpaper.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is I mean, even if you go through the base layer, realistically, it's not going to matter because,
As long as
um,
I prime it first, it won't be an issue.
yeah, I
Because
mean,
I mean, even on like one side of the weapon to the other,
mhm.
like that is because it's got that big flat surface on the end of the spear. One side of it
Yeah,
to the other is just completely like one side's nice and pristine, and I'm able to get the super good detail and make that pop and get all the highlights in. And then the other side is just like, well, I put some paint on here. I followed the lines as best as I could.
so it's a little bit of a challenge. That's
So there's
probably good, I guess.
definitely a front to this model.
All right, that's interesting. Very interesting, actually. I
Yeah,
wonder.
it is. It's been an interesting experience, and it's been an interesting learning experience painting with such a different material because nobody paints on this stuff.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
I mean,
paints on this stuff. Everybody paints on resin or plastic or metal.
yeah, and this is far from that. So
And metal is falling by the wayside as we speak. So,
really,
oh yeah,
oh, I thought you assume metal would just be.
it's way cheaper to do plastic and resin
Oh, so
because
is
like
metal
I
kind of like the prestige of materials then, as far as like actually getting a mini in metal?
well what so I did a little bit of research because everybody complains about like an era of Games Workshop models that was
Hmm.
fine cast that they call fine cast, and
Yeah.
basically what they did was they used to do all their models in pewter
Damn, that would be awesome.
because
Actually,
pewter was dirt cheap. But then
yeah,
suddenly the price of pewter in the UK skyrocketed.
terrible.
So Games Workshop
Oh
is
yeah,
like, well, fuck. This is it's gonna cost us way too, we're losing money using pewter. So they switched to using the exact same molds with resin.
Mm.
But because the process was intended for pewter, the resin didn't handle it very well.
interesting.
So it would get super thin mold lines that stuck, like, just fanned out of whatever the model was. Like, it just looked super bad and super awful. And, like, I saw pictures of it. I was like, oh my God, that looks awful. But it's also super thin, so you can't reasonably shave it down
Yeah,
without actually damaging the model.
interesting.
And then
Yeah, I'm looking.
they've since switched to just plastic, and quite frankly, the plastic on the Games Workshop models, the 10 that I did, was fantastic. Super easy to trim down the mold lines. Just run the back of my X-Acto knife on over it. Yeah, that was. Plus, the sculpts are just fantastic.
Yeah. Do you have any more painting streams planned out?
I'm trying to find the time specifically
Yeah, I mean,
for what I want to do because like Saturdays are taken up with this.
damn us
I
and
know, right?
our recording of things.
Damn our ambition. Please watch. Please, dear God, watch. Make it worth our time.
Please, I've been eating rice and ramen. I need help. Please, this needs to blow up so I can be rich and famous. Uh, I still have the mindset where for me it's like if this does blow up, great. If not,
Not,
I'm still having fun.
yeah, no.
So
And like that's what's important about things like this for me is, am I having fun? Yes, no.
yeah,
Yes, keep going. No, I should probably stop.
yeah,
If
or
I'm not enjoying it, I need to not do it.
yeah, yeah.
And that's
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 true. That should be true for everything in life. If you don't
absolutely.
like something, you should probably reconsider what you're doing.
Yeah. And like I feel like I've got a pretty reasonable plan
Yeah,
for potentially making, mini painting actually lucrative and sustainable.
lucrative.
And
Such a great word.
I and fuck man it is cuz
Uh,
I there's someone at work. I was just showing off my painting and I showed off the models that I painted for the Nova Open Charity event.
yeah.
And they were like, "So, do you think you're gonna keep painting Warhammer minis?" And I was like, "Probably." And they look at me and go, "Well, I've got like a whole army and a bit new in box,
Oh,
plus the books,
oh,
$150."
dude.
And I went, "I'm interested."
Let me make sure I'm allowed to do this.
Precisely. But
Oh,
I was thinking about it, and I was like, there depending on what it is. If it's like current stuff, I could definitely paint it and turn it around and make bank on that. But if it's
right.
stuff that's new on sprue and discontinued,
Mhm.
that shit's collector's item, and I can make
Yeah, yeah.
bank on that if I really wanted to.
Well, you saw. Did you see the Reddit post about the guy who?
Like the lady
Uh,
worked at Goodwill, the lady came in. Yeah,
yeah.
everybody has sent that to me. Everybody. I've had at
I
least 3 people send that directly to me.
I read that, and wholesome story.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Great story. But I read that, and I was like, oh man, I bet Zach has already seen this story because he's the mini guy. That's like, oh my god, should that just be your MO? Just the mini guy? I don't know.
I kind of already am.
Yeah. Oh man. Also, I totally know what I'm getting you for Christmas as far as stuff. I'm just gonna get you like some minis. Be like, here you go. Here's things you like.
I mean, you're not wrong. And like there's stuff that's not Games Workshop that's also really good, because I was looking at some of the other stuff, and there's one company called Creature Caster, and shit, I have to remember the name of it. I posted it in a server. Let me find it. Uh,
Can I
no,
spell
no,
creature?
no,
There
no.
we go.
Creature Caster. They painted it, and it was called the Canuck Mara,
Canuck Mara.
and it's this big old gnarly beast thing with the head of a moose
It's awesome.
and the antlers, and then like it's all gnarly down the center of it, and then on its stomach is a beaver, and then its tail is the head of a Canadian goose. And I was like, I kind of want
That's
that.
awesome.
I kind of want
That
that.
is pretty. That's pretty awesome.
But then like they
Crap.
also have like a I the only way I can think to describe it is the titty snake, and it's the Lady of Depravity, and it's
Yeah.
literally just this like Gorgon type woman, like waist up woman, waist down snake, but from like the upper chest down for a while is just boobs. It's just boobs. And I was like,
That's funny.
okay then.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy looking stuff on here.
Oh yeah, Creature Caster has one, and fuck, what is it called? There's one guy called Lucas Pena, I think. And he does like drops where he'll be like, "Hey, this is on pre-order right now. However many are ordered, that's how many I'm going to make, and that's it."
Mm.
And he does really cool sculpts and really interesting and like sort of cutesy sculpts, like the one. No, not UFC.
Oh my goodness. There's an entire Lord of the Rings set.
Oh yeah, yeah. So Games Workshop makes the Lord of the Rings stuff, and it's like actually stupid how expensive that shit is. Like Smaug is like $600,
Looking at it right now.
and a comparably sized Warhammer model is only like 150.
Wow, that is pretty pricey.
No, that's not right. It's not Lucas Pena. Fuck. What is it?
So is 40K like your go-to right now?
40K is easy. 40K gets views. Plus, I like Warhammer 40K, and I actually like enjoy playing it. So when my friend was just like, "Here's a starter kit," I went, "Ooh!"
Oh, I like this.
because it
Man.
included the army that I wanted to build for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So digging for things, filling time, making noise with my mouth, so I'm interested.
Dude,
Interesting.
I can't believe
Plastic.
how expensive some of this stuff is. It's crazy.
Yeah. Although I did end up, so I needed, so okay, so for your model, there was a specific color that I needed that I didn't have.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll go to the local hobby shop, see if they've got it. They don't have it, but they have a kit with like 13 other paints in it and a clip and like a mold line remover. But I have the back of a hobby knife because I'm not a fucking heathen. And like a little itty bitty brush that's kind of okay. So I was like, okay, that's a thing, but they don't have what I need. But that has what I need. Let me run the numbers. I ended up running the numbers on it, and the kit is like $45,
Hmm.
and just the paint is like $20 more than that.
Oh,
So I was
jeez.
like, yeah, this is a deal. Plus, it's like actual paint colors that I'm going to use because it's like red, blue, yellow, black, white, gold, bronze, metal, gunmetal, and silver.
Right,
Whatever am I
right.
gonna do with those colors? Plus it's got like a darker skin tone which I can utilize. Oh, I've got a fucking story about that for you.
Okay.
Skin tone is like the white whale of mini painting, and I found a way to do it that looks actually realistic.
Oh, nice, nice.
But it came with like a normal skin tone, and then it's like a gritty paint, like it actually has grit in it to kind of give a texture.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, cool, I can utilize that too. Like I'll
Hell yeah.
probably slap some of that on your boy and paint it up. So skin tone. I was just browsing because there's a paint streamer called Slow Fuse,
Hmm.
older dude, and he has his paint pro acryl. Like he was doing it. He used to be paired with the creature caster I was talking about,
Oh, cool.
but they ended up going their separate ways because it's just like you look at say you're looking for the pro acryl paint, but you're not
Yeah.
necessarily looking, you're brand new to the hobby, so you don't really know what's going in there. So you're like, oh, Creature Caster, they've got the pro acryl paint. Why is there a titty demon on my screen? So
You
it's
went for
just,
one thing, you stayed for another.
right? So he ended up going his own way. He also does brushes, and he has like kits you can buy for like hobby organization, for paint organization and tool organization and all of that. But like I was just looking at his paints to see like what they are, pricing, all that good shit. And he's got a pretty decent kit.
Yeah.
And he also does like techniques. Like here's how to achieve this look using
That's cool.
using the paints that I have available. And he's like, "Hey,
Right.
here's how to make realistic looking skin. Start with
That's
purple."
Yep. Totally makes sense.
So you start with purple, and you get that in all of your. He was demonstrating on like a 3D printed Wonder Woman bust. So like all your
That's
lowlights under the jawline, under the nose, under the eyebrows, the cleavage, the armpit, the up under the legs and the butt. Get all that with the dark purple, and then kind of go over and slightly overlap with a dark green, and then blur the lines of the green and the purple with a dark red. Keep going, kind of
interesting.
start to build up the green highlights till you're at a very pale yellow on the super highlights,
Yeah.
and then take a skin tone paint, thin it way down, and run it through an airbrush, and it'll take a couple coats, but it'll eventually cover, and those natural colors that are in skin tones, the greens, the reds, the purples, will eventually show up, and it'll just look like normal highlighted skin.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I
Huh.
watched like the VOD he had of it up on his YouTube channel, and I was like, holy shit, I have to try this now because I have a bust that I'm really excited to paint, but I want to like I'm in that paradox of like I want to make sure I have skills to make it look good,
Right.
but excuse me, because I'm listening to the mini painting podcast is called Trapped Under Plastic,
That's a great name
and
too.
it's the right. And I was like, oh, that's great because they were initially they did like a couple pre-channel, like a pre couple like episode 0, 0.1, 0.2. They did like three episodes on Miniac's channel, and they were gonna call it like Deafening Roar, but we're like, no, we want it to be like actually mini centric, actually sound, have a name that's related to mini painting because that's what we talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
So they changed the name to Trapped Under Plastic, and they call their viewers Sprudes and Spruettes because you cut all your stuff off of sprues, right?
Oh my God.
Oh no,
That's
it's a bunch of Minnesota dorks. They're amazing.
oh, that's funny.
It's a pair of Minnesota boys, and
That's good
but they were
stuff.
talking about like everybody's like, oh, I've got this mini that I want to look really good, but I don't think I'm good enough to paint it. I'm like, just paint your fucking minis. Just paint your shit. It'll look good or it won't look good. But at least you'll probably have learned something. Just paint your shit. Get it done.
That's yeah. It's kind of the crude Bob Ross approach,
Well,
you know?
and like that's Scott's catch, like that's Scott's slogan for his channel is paint more minis.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get better unless you paint.
Exactly. And like I'm at the point right now where I don't have a lot of time to just kind of do. I have to budget my time because
Right.
I'm working full time for the moment. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to use the time that I have to focus on something that I care about, and that right now is mini painting. So I am making sure at some point in the day I am putting paint on my brush and putting my brush to the plastic. And
That's good.
if I do that every day, I will have the habit of I am painting on a mini every day. I am making progress every day. And that's my goal, is to eventually just part of my day is painting a mini.
It I'm not going to lie. That came across very, very motivational speaker, and I loved it. I literally it made me feel like, God, what the fuck am I doing
Well,
with
and
my
it was like
life?
once I had that realization and that's what I'm doing, I like the day after I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come home from work, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to paint. That's been my day for the last week. Is I go to work, I come home, I eat, I paint, and then I go to bed. I eat, paint, go to bed, eat, paint. Like that's my free time is painting.
Yeah, and just to clarify, he's not eating paint,
Yes, I
he's
am.
eating and then painting.
No, I'm
Oh,
eating
you are
paint.
eating
I
paint.
do eat
Oh,
paint.
okay. So
I
you
I
are
haven't been doing any blends on your dude because I haven't
yeah.
needed to because it's a paint, like it is a model that is meant to look painted. So I'm like, hey, I can just make this look painted because guess what I'm doing? I'm already painting. I can sell the effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did a little bit of, but when I blend, it's like you've got the paint on the model that's wet, and it's like speedrunning. It's about efficiency of steps.
Yeah.
So you've got color A and color B here, and you want to blend them together so that they're color C. But, they're going to dry if you take too long.
Yeah.
But you've got color B on your brush, so instead of taking the time to wash your brush off, dry it a little bit, and then do the blending, just like your damn brush. It's a terrible habit. Don't do it.
Is
But if you don't care, but if you don't care and you just want to be good, just like your damn brush. That's what I do.
yeah, lick your brush.
Did it help?
These
And
fine
because
lead-based paints.
it's way faster because I've got the model here, I've got the
Yeah.
brush here, bit of, get the color on, lick, keep going.
Nice.
Efficiency of steps. So yes, I do eat paint
I do.
occasionally. In small amounts. Some paints taste better than others.
Up until this point, everybody thought I was the R word of the show, and now you just admitted to eating paint, so. Next week we talk about how I eat paint chips. So,
well, you eat paint chips from things that were made in China in the 70s.
Yes, or just houses that were built in the 20s.
I eat fresh acrylic paint. Deal with it.
I am impervious to radiation at this point.
But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So like a day or two after I realized, this is what I need to do if I want to improve, if I want to do whatever.
Yeah.
A friend of mine in my in the server that I'm in was like, hey, because we kind of agreed to just be accountability partners for things. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm doing my, I have my goal for my thing. She has her goal for her thing. This is how we're keeping each other accountable for what we're doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you, find motivation to do whatever, how do you, when you're doing your painting, how do you end up not just sitting there and staring at it? And I was like, just do something.
Yeah.
Just do a thing. Just as long as you're, because she does pastels, so as long as you're like in my specific thing, as long as I'm putting paint on a model, I'm making progress and I'm doing the thing. And the important part is to just do the thing.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, is like, I need to do the thing, so I don't have a choice but to do the thing. And that's where I'm at with that. And I'm happy with the progress that I've made, and I'm happy with the progress I intend to keep having.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you showed progress with that dog you initially painted. And
I know.
It was a year later? Was that
how
long it was?
That was my anniversary, because it was my first mini ever, and then it was the same mini a year later.
Yeah, and that was like, holy shit.
Right?
Like, I mean, you expect progress, right?
But actually seeing it.
Progress and seeing it was like, damn.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like,
just
what
does
little
year 2 hold?
Right? It's just little things that you pick up over time, like thin your paints. That's the big one. Thin your paints. Because I didn't do that on the first one. I just slapped it on there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I thin my paints now. Like, I have a wet palette. Like, my paint is literally sitting on a piece of parchment paper on top of a wet sponge. It's always wet.
That's neat. I didn't know that was the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, this is why we need more mini painting streams, so we can all learn.
I want to. I intend to. I'm going to. I've just been really scared because I don't trust my computer right now.
I don't know. That is, that is an issue. If you don't trust your hardware,
I've been on edge for like 2 weeks, but it's been 2 weeks since I've had a crash.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is one of those things where you just have to do it. See what happens.
Yeah, because I definitely want to wait until I'm finished with your thing. Because you're my most loyal. You're my most loyal viewer.
Chances are, I would actually tune in and be like, "Oh fuck, I just ruined that."
I'm like, at the rate I'm going, I anticipate being done tomorrow.
Oh shit, that's really soon.
Like, okay. I can get it back to you next week. At the rate I'm going.
Which actually that might work out, because I have to go to HQ next week.
I'm downtown.
So... Oh, are you at downtown?
I'm downtown.
Oh, what the fuck? All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's just inconvenient now.
Right?
Wait, if you're downtown, are you still working on the same project, or are you doing something else now?
I'm working on a different project.
Yeah,
same client, different project.
Nice. I shouldn't say I got stuck, but I got volunteered into kind of a side project,
Ah,
and I'm regretting it all the way.
mm.
Because it's very much.
You were voluntold.
I wasn't even voluntold. It was like, hey, try this. If it doesn't seem like it's working, that's fine. But I was like, well, it's something new, so yeah, I'm gonna stick with it, even if it's painful right now. But it was very much, hey, you're working with literally just engineers and PhDs,
Oh,
and by the way, you're gonna have to really, really, really buckle down and relearn physics. And also, there's this tool that you're really close to that needs to be set up. Hey, we know you know nothing about it, but there's a manual, and we have faith that you can figure it out. Okay, good luck. Bye. Like that. That was my
and
week.
then after they leave, they just pop their head and by the way, no pressure.
Yeah. By the way, no pressure. There will be a progress report next week, though. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Jesus
So
Christ.
yeah, I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna plug it in and see what the fuck happens.
I mean, it's been great working downtown because Juliana works
Carpool. Yeah.
downtown, so we can carpool. She works longer days than me, so it ends up one of us takes the bus home. Like if she thinks
Oh,
she's gonna be super late, I'll take the bus home. But if she's just gonna get off at the normal time, I don't want to wait 2 hours, so I'll just go home.
yeah. That's cool though.
But I could
Oh, it
totally.
means you guys get lunches together again.
No,
Adorable.
I'm not.
No?
I
Okay.
haven't been
Never
taking
mind.
lunch. I got shit to do.
Wow, look at you. Taking after me, not taking
I know, right?
lunches.
I'm like, I'm here to just work, and taking a lunch is a half hour later that I have to leave.
Wow. Just don't let HR know about that. Mm. By the way,
Reporting,
today's podcast is brought to you by Fred Meyer Purified Drinking Water.
as long
What
as it's
did you
not owned by
have?
Nestle, we're fine.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's Fred Meyer, but who knows anymore? All right, pop open another one. Like a true hydro
Also
homie
brought
right
to you
here.
by Bomb Cider.
Ah, good bomb cider.
Like this is actually really fucking good because it's
It is.
it's a.
I've had it before.
Did you have the mango one?
Did not have that one because
So
I'm not.
the boring old mango brew is really good.
Might have to try that. I'm usually not a fan of mango. I don't know
They
why,
do it.
but
They do this one really well. Like Julianne and I were both really iffy on this, and we
yeah.
tried it, and we're like, holy shit. Because we've been taking advantage of the OMSI After Dark virtual events.
Oh, that's cool.
So what they've been doing is they've been taking a collection of like last month was beer, this month was cider. So they did a month. They collected 10 different beers from the local area, and you buy your ticket, and it gets you those 10 beers and two little tasting glasses. Like
Yeah.
these are the ones we got for the cider. Cute little mason jars. Just says OMSI
That's
Cider
awesome.
Fest on it. Like it's
That's
neat.
pretty cool.
And it does that, and then like there's a live streamed event where you can go, like it's a Vimeo, like it's a private stream. You have to have bought your ticket to get the thing. We
Yeah.
don't care about that. We're just like split beer. Do you like this one? Do you like this one? Good, because I don't. Here.
There you go.
And then we did the cider one because we really enjoyed the. So it's giving us an opportunity to try things that we wouldn't normally, because
Yeah.
the beer one came with an IPA. That came with an IPA. It came with two IPAs, and I don't like IPAs generally. But the first one that I tried, it was the first beer we cracked open. I tried it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Because it was a
Uh,
super low IBU for an IPA. It was like 35 instead of 40 plus, so it wasn't super bitter.
yeah.
And I got a picture of it because I've been looking for it like a madman, and I can't find it anywhere.
What is it?
Let me get there.
I need to know now.
It's a Ninkasi Brewing Company Steady Orbit Grounded IPA.
Oh God, that brewing company sounds familiar.
They do like the Slayer SLEIGHR every year around
Okay.
Christmas time. They have their most common one is like their oatmeal stout.
Okay,
They have
that's
an
probably
oatmeal
why.
stout. They do a lot of IPAs. Like they're the company where like their logo is the N on like a stylized compass rose.
Oh,
If I
yes.
showed you,
Okay,
yeah,
that's why. Okay.
if I showed you the logo, you'd recognize it.
Yeah, I can picture the logo right now.
Images.
Oh,
Or I guess it's not a
yeah.
compass rose, but it's
Yep. Okay,
yeah,
that's exactly
yeah.
the one.
So they had the steady orbit grounded IPA, and I went, oh, that's good. That's really good. I want more of that. Why can't I find it fucking anywhere?
That's the thing, man. You find something you love, chances are you will never be able to find it.
It's true. It really is. It's
Yeah. So if anything, you need to be like, I hate this and I never want to see it again, and then it will pop up everywhere.
probably.
Yeah. Um, Also, our last sponsor of the day is
Uh
Baja Fresh.
oh. Ooh.
Oh, something right there. Sure, probably right there. All right. Baja
No, you're
Fresh.
good.
Eat fresh. Eat fresh. Please sponsor us. Send me free quesadillas. That'd be awesome. I actually really do love their steak quesadilla. It's really good. I'm actually probably gonna order that after we're done recording today. Now
Uh,
I'm thinking about it and I want it. So
right. When we're done, let's see. I'm gonna go get super glue when we're done because I need super glue
uh,
to finish your boy.
as long as you're not gonna try to eat it, I think we'll be
No,
okay.
I won't eat super glue, but I will be incorporating coffee into your model.
I'm assuming for the
Yeah.
base. Yeah.
So I found a
Cool.
thing. It's like mixed coffee with like heavy base, um, uh, heavy base acrylic, like craft paint.
Hmm.
Mix that up, like 1-to-1 ratio, and then slather that on, and it'll create a nice like gritty earth texture.
That's cool.
And then I went and dug around my outside my apartment and found a really neat rock that I'm gonna glue on the base.
Oh hell yeah! See this is why I gave this to you because
It's
I
the
knew.
this is the first time I'm really like making an attempt to actually base something. Like I've never really put a base on a model before, or tried to make a base for a model. I actually even went out and got like little tufts of fake grass that I'm gonna put on there too.
Dude, that's awesome. See, I told you, man, just go do whatever you needed to do to it. So that's awesome. I like that this is giving you.
Plus, oh, you probably can't see it, but that Juliana got me an air like the airbrush that I wanted for our anniversary.
Oh,
So
look at
that's
that.
that's helped too. Still
That's
dialing it in,
adorable.
but I found out that I have a paint that is the pigment in it is too heavy for an airbrush once thinned down.
Really?
So I put it in the airbrush. I thinned it down with paint, paint thinner,
Yeah.
and I thought I mixed it up real good. And I go in and I'm going and I end up running out. So I put more paint in and I put more thinner in and I mix it up. And suddenly it won't blow air at all.
Huh.
And I'm really concerned. So I pour it out. I clean out the cup and I look
Yeah.
down and all of the pigment from the paint has just sank to the bottom
Oh,
where
jeez.
the paint meets the airflow.
Oh man.
And it was just like, no. So it just clogged up down there and I was like, ah, because this
Oh,
is
that
the first
sucks.
time I'd ever used this airbrush.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
freaking
You're
out a
just
little
like, oh
bit.
god. Oh, that sucks.
But I was able to
Yeah.
get it cleaned out and scooped out, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, I have a brush that I don't care about because it's my dry brush and I literally beat the shit out of it to make it do
Beat
what
the
I want.
devil out
I
of it.
beat the devil out of it to make it do what I want to
Beat
do.
beat the devil out of it.
Well, that's there's a technique called dry brushing,
Yeah. Yeah.
or I think I've described it to you. You go and you get paint on the brush and then you rub it off on a paper towel till there's just barely any, and then you brush that real rough over the model and it'll leave just the little remnants behind on all the raised edges. So yeah, that's what dry brushing is good for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's good for getting quick highlights.
Man, I'm just excited. This is gonna be done
This
this week.
thing
That's crazy.
this thing looks really like I'm just like glancing over at it and like before it was looking really plain because I did it looked like a fresh pristine model
Yeah.
and like it looked fine, but now that I'm looking at it and it's got like the definition on all the raised highlights because I went and I took a dark metallic and I did the battle damage thing. I literally took a little piece of packing sponge and I dabbed it all over to give a sort of battle damage look. And then on all the edges, I went with a silver to give it like an actual worn highlight type look.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Man.
It looks really cool. I even put a little bit of rust texture on there on some of the spots.
Perfect.
To give it like it looks so sick.
All right.
I'm really liking how it turned out. And I hate that I can't show you progress pics because I love sharing progress pics.
And see, that's where I'm at. I just want the blind reveal.
You just want, here's the fucking thing. Okay.
Yeah, I want the full, like, just blind reveal. Like they do on those old, what were those old plastic surgery shows, where it's like, all right, their head is all bandaged up. We're gonna reveal what she looks like now. And she looks terrible, but whatever. Here you go. You're stuck with this new face now. We're sorry. Yeah, that's all I want. I just want, and I'm excited because you're describing it now, and I'm just like thinking about it in my head. Like, okay, I kind of have an idea of what it could be looking like.
So to give you an idea of the specific paint that I wanted, that I ended up buying that whole kit for, the paint is called Tesseract Glow.
Oh, that's a cool name too.
Right?
Jeez. All right. Man, that's exciting.
And I'm gonna like you'll see where I end up putting it because it looks super. I'm excited for using that one.
All right. Damn.
I also put a couple of transfers on it, and then I promptly covered them with battle damage so you can barely see them.
Okay.
But it's the first time I've ever put transfers on anything.
All right.
But it looks so sick. I'm so excited to see your reaction to when it's done.
It's gonna be. It'll be like Pimp My Ride. That's what it's gonna be like.
Yeah. I'm gonna open the little like I'm gonna bring it to you in a fucking box.
I'm just gonna have to like look around the whole thing and just like, oh shit, where'd you put the TVs at?
Well, now you got me thinking.
No, don't put TVs on it. Although that'd be interesting, but don't
unless.
Yeah, unless. Yeah, interesting. Man, I'm excited.
I'm excited that you're excited. I'm excited to show it to you.
Yeah. Man. Ooh.
Huh. Man, it hasn't even been an hour.
It hasn't?
Nope.
It feels like it has. Oh, almost an hour. What else has been going on?
Oh, shit. Like, my friend was just like, so a friend of mine messaged Juliana for our address. And, like, I found out about this later. And I kind of knew what he was going to send me, but I didn't think he'd be doing it this soon. He sent me a fucking Stream Deck.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because he got one for himself because he does First Robotics competition.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. I guess he's been live streaming himself so he can interact with his team that he coaches. So he coaches for Skyview.
Okay.
So he's set up to live stream, and he got himself the street, like he went hard on it. Like he got himself a fucking capture card, stream deck, whole shebang, lighting to give him, So he's I guess he's
way too professional for
I know,
me.
Right? But I guess he streams he just streams on Twitch to his students, or like for a meeting, or I don't know exactly what he does, but he got it and he's like, this thing is amazing. If Zach is gonna live stream, he probably needs one. And I was like,
Yeah,
I want one, but I know it's one of those things where if there's something that I can customize, I'm going to take way too long to customize it.
yeah, no, those are amazing from everything I've seen. Um,
And yeah, no, and that's the thing is like I know it's amazing. I know I'd use it. I know I'd use the fuck out of it. But my concern is I would spend more time customizing it than I would actually getting use out of it. But once I customize it, I'll be able to get use out of it.
mhm.
I'm like, he didn't send me the big one. He just sent me the normal 15 button one. And he's like,
Yeah.
quite frankly, 15 buttons is enough, especially because you can stack folders.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought about getting one, but I was like, I don't know.
What really got me on it was the build quality. It's
Oh,
way
well,
better. Like, I mean, I should expect things like that from Elgato, but
yeah,
it was way better built than I ever expected it to be. Because it's like actually like the faceplate is solid metal, and then the buttons are nice and responsive.
chunky.
They're good chunky buttons. And then like the little stand that it comes with is super. You can put it at the exact right angle for comfort, and it's good
Yeah,
shit.
that's nice.
And I guess you can set it so that like whatever button you have active on there is brighter than the rest, so you at a glance can just tell what's what,
Oh, see, that's nice. I didn't know that.
which is a
That's
nice
nice.
little thing.
It's a
I haven't
nice
set it
feature.
up yet because I haven't had the time to stream, but I know Taryn from Linus Tech Tips, in
Mhm.
addition to his 3 keyboards, also has 3 Stream
yeah.
Decks for all
That's
of his file access.
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
like, "This is great, except for the fact that it doesn't have any like file stacking, and it's only 15 buttons." And then like 6 months later, they released that functionality, and he did another review. Oh my god, they added the thing I wanted, and it's amazing.
yeah. I remember that video because I was like, that is the most insane thing I've ever seen.
Right?
But yeah, no, between
Anytime they
Elgato
show
is
Terran's desk,
fantastic.
it's just like, bro,
Yeah, it's
because he's got
insanity.
like 4 monitors.
Which fun fact, Corsair actually owns Elgato now.
Hmm. Hmm.
And another fun fact, Corsair went public like a few weeks ago. So that's entertaining.
Interesting.
We'll see how that affects things. I'm generally curious just because usually when companies go public, then they have to like appease shareholders, which means quality and everything goes straight into the shitter.
Because it's all about making money instead of actually providing a quality product.
Yeah, but we'll see if they follow that trend or not.
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
I'd like to continue being unofficially sponsored by Corsair.
yeah, I would love to keep being unofficially sponsored. I forgot we did that on. Was it the first
This is the
episode?
very first episode. You had a whole like fucking script written out. We're just like,
Yeah.
fucking dust off.
That's.
I use their
think-
stuff sometimes, vaguely related to.
I think I was more professional in the first episode, actually having like a script written out. And now
You had one
I
for
don't-
both AMD and Corsair, and
I
now
did.
here we are, fucking episode 8. Just
Yeah,
I've got
here you
a
go.
random thing at my desk. They
Yeah.
sponsor us now.
And that's what makes it.
I'm sponsored
it's great.
specifically by this LG TV remote.
There you go. Boom. LG TV remotes. Buy one, even if you don't have an LG TV.
No, not LG TV remotes. Just this specific LG TV remote. I am sponsored by
Oh.
this one. Only this one.
Just
This is
only
the only
that
one that sponsors me. You could have the exact same TV with the exact same remote. No, this is the one that sponsors me.
Yes. Do I have anything else around me? I already did the G2 Pilot pen, so I
I
can't do
mean,
that
I'm
again.
obviously unofficially sponsored by Broken Toad brushes. Like legit good paintbrushes. Teeny
Yeah,
tiny.
Sponsor that.
Please,
unofficial.
dear God, sponsor me. I want your stuff. Did I tell you
I
about
will-
the deal that? So when the whole fucking COVID thing happened, I had been looking for brushes and I had saved up for brushes, and I was gonna be like, okay, I'm going to spend like this much and get a couple brushes because I was going to get like a size 0, a size 1, and a size 2.
Mm-hmm.
Decent sizes. 2's good for
Yeah.
spreading paint around, 1's good for detail work, 0's good for super detail work. And I do a little digging, and like there was a specific brand I was looking at, but it was never in stock at any of the places I was looking. So I was like, oh, Broken Toad's a thing. They make good stuff. I'll check them out. I check them out, and they've got a deal. 4 brushes, brush cleaner, and a bust for like $75. And I was like, the brushes themselves were $60.
Yeah.
And then like the bust itself was like 30. So that kit was just, it was a no-brainer steal, and I use those brushes all the time. I use the one more than I use anything else, but that, quite frankly, I mean, it's needlepoint. Like
Awesome.
I'm regularly surprised by how fine of a line I can draw with those brushes. With just the one.
And those are the best brushes.
It's
And
subjective.
I guess it would be subjective.
They are the best brushes I have ever used.
Okay.
Everybody has their preference.
Right, yeah.
Raphael's another popular one. Like that's another popular brand that a lot of people use. There's the Baumwick brushes by that Slow Fuse guy I was telling you earlier. And he actually has Baumwick Sable Hair and Baumwick Synthetic. Which synthetic and sable have their own uses.
Right.
I tend to use synthetic brushes because I've had synthetic brushes. Like Juliana got me a couple sets. I started out with synthetic brushes, but they always get like this little hook in the point that gets really annoying after a while if you're trying to do detail work and you don't know how to utilize it.
Yeah.
Like actually,
Yeah.
is this one? Oh, that one. No, it's got it. It's just anyway. Because it's synthetic, it just slowly bends over time as you're using it.
Right.
And there's ways to fix that, but I didn't know what those were. Like, I guess the way to fix it is literally just hair gel.
Hey, man.
Or I guess it's like hair paste or whatever. But the Broken Toad ones that I have, they're natural sable hair brushes, Kolinsky sable.
Yeah.
So like a weasel gave its little tail hairs for my brushes.
So, you know what? Cut out the middleman. Buy a weasel. Harvest hair. Make your own brushes.
I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about it.
Did you? Dude,
I've considered it.
If anything, just use the weasel to paint, so you don't even have to worry about it. You know, just dip his tail in paint and just go.
That just makes me think of the Futurama Emerald analog with the Spice Weasel.
With the Spice Weasel, yeah. Bless you, Futurama. A show that should still be on the air. But...
Speaking of old TV shows that are coming back, they've confirmed a new season of Dexter.
Yeah, how awful is that going to be?
I know, right? I was like, okay, you unless you're gonna like totally retcon everything or actually fix the disaster you left us.
Yeah. The show that did Game of Thrones endings before Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Like, and that was the thing is, I thought the way Dexter ended was the worst a TV show could end, and then fucking David Benioff and DB Weiss showed up and were like, "Hold my fucking pen."
Yeah. Those two guys are, oh my gosh.
And now they write for Star Wars.
Do they? I thought they got pulled off that.
The reason they rushed the end of... Oh, did they get pulled off of?
Yeah, I thought Disney cut ties with them.
Oh, I hope so.
I'm fairly certain. I thought I saw something like...
Because my whole,
Disney scrapped whatever project they were working on, and I think it was due to the fact that Game of Thrones ended so bad. And everybody was like, these guys are morons. They shouldn't be working in Hollywood.
Right, we don't want the association with these idiots.
Yeah.
Because like that was the whole reason they rushed the Game of Thrones ending was
Yeah.
so they could get to the Star Wars stuff sooner. At which, fuck you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean they were caught saying that Game of Thrones was like their prison sentence.
They were the creators of the fucking show.
Yeah.
They should have thought about that before they fucking. Oh, that's why Gemini Man wasn't that good.
Oh yeah, that was written by
It's written by David Benioff.
yeah. No, that
Apparently
was such a
he's
terrible fucking movie,
written a single episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
which I'm sure was heavily edited.
Probably. There was that movie Brothers with like
Brothers.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Tobey Maguire.
I don't even remember that one.
So like Tobey Maguire was an army man and he went to serve in the Brown place.
Oh,
And
yeah. This.
oh, that explains a lot. He wrote the screenplay for X-Men Origins.
Whoopsies.
Oh, but he did Troy, which was
yeah.
actually good.
Yeah, but that I feel like Troy had a lot of other good things going for it too.
True.
But yeah,
It
the
had
Star Wars setback. So yeah, the Game of Thrones duo exits Lucasfilm. That was back in 2019. So
okay. Good.
yep.
Fuck them.
So them rushing that so they could start on the whole.
Didn't even go anywhere.
Didn't even go anywhere. So they're morons.
Wow. DB Weiss has 3 writing credits. One of which is not even out yet. Oh, and he's also credited for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Game of Thrones. But I guess DB Weiss is more of a producer even then. Still not great. Dude's done fucking nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, Gemini Man was it was just awful.
I've heard
I mean, it had Will Smith,
I've heard
which
that
is just terrible. But
and it was Will Smith opposite Will Smith, which that goes well.
I mean, what got me was the fact that just just everything. The visual effects were bad as well. Them having like an aged down Will Smith looked completely out of place in the movie.
Okay.
It was just bad.
So on the Dexter thing, Dexter revival won't undo anything. Will improve on series finale.
You can't improve on garbage. What do you have? Slightly polished turd? Is that above garbage?
Is he just gonna do his thing
Ugh.
in Alaska or whatever?
I'm assuming. Well, he can't go back to Miami. Like, he can't magically show back up there. It's like everybody's gonna know. Oh, you're probably a murderer.
Right.
You know.
Right.
We should probably just arrest you right out of the gate.
Okay.
So yeah,
I
don't know.
I have to do the thing where I leave you alone again.
Oh, are you going to the
I
bathroom?
got it.
How
I
dare
have
you,
to.
sir.
I have to. It's
Dude.
it's dire. It's
Wow.
dire.
Man.
It's an emergency. I believe in
All right,
you.
I'll entertain the masses. All right, we're gonna talk about Dexter while he's gone. So, if anybody hasn't seen Dexter out there, which I feel like you should watch Dexter. Dexter as a whole is not a terrible series. Actually, a really good series when it started out. You've got a serial killer who literally specializes in killing serial killers. Bad guy for the common good. I mean, it's an anti-hero that you just love. The problem is they tried to shoehorn so much bullshit into that series in the later seasons that it became complete garbage. I mean, you've got a guy who is cold, calculated, and what happens? Of course, he falls in love, and then he starts kind of failing at his whole "I can kill people" thing. He has a kid with a woman. It's just they shoehorn all this shit in that makes it terrible. I feel like 7 seasons really rushed the series as well. Realistically, they could have expanded it out to 10 seasons easy, and really, really, I think done more to flesh out some characters. But it's one of those things. A lot of people argue after this Trinity Killer series season. They should have ended it. I agree, because that was a fantastic series. Um, John Lithgow is amazing as an actor, and playing a serial killer, he was fantastic. Uh, I don't know. I don't have faith that Dexter's going to do anything good. The only saving grace I could actually think for Dexter is the fact that they got the writer from the first seasons, who was, I mean, let's be honest, the first seasons were regarded as some of the best seasons. So I don't know. There could be hope, but if I had to take a massive swing at it, I would say it's probably going to fall on its face. You know what? You're going to have the hardcore fans come back for it. Oh, that's right. There were 8 seasons. Sorry, I just looked this up. But yeah, that's because the 8th season's terrible, and nobody should actually watch it. Um, yeah, I have no faith that it's going to actually carry itself. I. Mm, I don't see it being what it needs to be. And it's unfortunate. It's one of those things where it's a show that should not be. I mean, it's like if they went back and said, you know what, we're going to revive Game of Thrones. And it's like, no, no, you're not, because that finished terribly, and it should never ever happen again and be revived. That's what they're doing with Dexter. It's going to be a cash grab at best, to just try to get viewers. And I don't know. I don't see it being good. I really don't. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I they're gonna have to really wow me to get me to watch past one more season. Because I mean, I'll probably watch it. Let's be honest. I'll give it a shot. I won't pay to watch it. I can tell you that much right now. But we'll see. I have very little faith that they'll be able to pull off Dexter season 9. That is my theory. Zach is back.
Came back.
And that's why segregation was necessary.
I still don't know what you said the last time. I actually didn't.
You didn't watch
I
that
didn't
episode?
watch it. I don't even remember what episode that was.
I don't remember either. All I know is I think that when you came back and I opened with something about
You-
Holocaust denial.
Yeah,
so-
you did. You did basically what you just did, but with a
Yeah.
different subject.
Yeah. No, I think I just went over why season 9 of Dexter's going to fail.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be hot garbage.
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
And I did bring this up while you were gone, but I think the only saving grace is the fact that they got the writer from the first few seasons to come back and write for it. So maybe
they got
we'll see
the
something.
creator of the show to come in,
So
and
maybe
Michael
we'll see something.
Michael C. Hall. So that
But-
should help, but I don't anticipate it. The only way I can see it potentially being good is if it's from the perspective of someone hunting Dexter.
I could see that. Or I also thought because his kid and that other psycho lady moved down to, was it Brazil or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
And he
comes
starts
back
doing the thing.
and he starts training his son to take over for him. Like he finds out his son is psychotic or something.
I
I don't know. I mean, look, we're throwing ideas out there if you guys want to actually run with it and
Right.
write with it, but
because
that would
we're
require
big
you to
enough for
watch our
people to
podcast.
right.
But like that to me, but see, that's a plot I would watch. Honestly, is like he has to raise his son now, like how Harry raised him.
Right?
I would be more interested in that, because really they don't. I mean, they have the few flashbacks to Dexter as a kid, but actually seeing Dexter have to raise his kid with like the set rules and everything,
Yeah.
that'd be interesting. I would watch that. But I mean, they're probably gonna have him up in like Alaska or something, or wherever the fuck he ended up. And he'll just, it's like, oh, some guy's murdering. He's a serial killer that uses a chainsaw. So Dexter's gotta hop back into the seat. And
So
kill.
here's an interesting thought and idea that could be cool.
Yeah.
Is if Dexter's up there doing his thing, he's old man logger or whatever, and then suddenly there's this new kid. He shows up,
Mhm.
doing his thing, doing whatever. Oh, hey kid, what's your name? Harrison.
Oh, there we go. I like it. I can see that.
Like his kid
Alright.
comes up to, but like it shortly after the new kid shows up, somebody turns up dead. Dexter didn't do it. Find out that the kid was the one,
Yeah.
like,
I don't know. I don't, like I said, look, I'll probably watch it. I'm not gonna pay for it.
Oh,
I can
God,
tell you that
no.
much right now.
oh God, no.
But I'll watch it. I'm sure it'll be awful.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. So
it's just so dumb.
so on a
I'm gonna boat out into a hurricane, and then
right, right,
it's just
so
fucking
stupid, just so
bad.
stupid.
If you
Okay,
don't believe us, go watch it. Go watch all 8 seasons. I dare you.
there's only 4 seasons of Dexter. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well.
So okay, so you know how Nintendo came out with that Mario Kart home circuit or whatever,
Oh yeah.
where it's like you're literally just driving a little RC car Mario Kart around,
With the camera and
and
everything.
it's AR, and you've got like your little things you set up. Well, it's becoming a thing where people are recording the videos of that
Yeah.
and how their cats interact with it.
Oh god. Oh man.
Because apparently cats hate this thing. And there's so many videos of cats just like chasing it around, or like ones from the perspective of somebody driving and they go through a checkpoint and the cat's just like, no! And I'm seeing the video of it, and I'm like, that thing's not even going fast. It's just like, "Wee," and I'm like, bro. I mean, it's a neat concept with the little AR,
Yeah.
but it's funny to me, just the interaction with the cats. That's just hysterical to me.
Oh yeah. I feel, I mean, anything with cats is great. I remember the whole cucumber thing
Oh, I know, right?
for a while, and like cats were freaking out and shit. That was hilarious. But yeah, cats are something else sometimes, I swear. They're crazy. Some days I wonder if I would ever own a cat, but I'm allergic, so
No, that's
I mean,
probably.
it's not. I mean, it's slight. It's not like it's crazy
You just get
allergy.
you get sniffles real bad, and
I get the sniffles, and I'm just like, oh, is this worth it? But yeah,
well, and you know that if you got a cat, it would literally never leave you alone.
probably not. I don't know why animals do that shit to me. I'm not fucking Pocahontas. Leave me the fuck alone sometimes. God damn it. And that's the thing. I would get a cat because it's like, oh, they're independent. They don't need to be around their owners.
It would literally
And
never.
then-
It would be on your lap anytime you sat down. It'll
Yeah,
be around your legs like all the time. Shasta's gonna
Yeah.
get mad at you because it's suddenly your cat now.
Yeah, because the cat likes me. She gets mad because the bird likes me more than her. She did this when we had our dog too. Like the dog loved the shit out of me, even though it was her puppy when we first met.
Right.
And it's like, what? I'm not doing anything. I tell the dog to go away. Like, you're getting her mad at me, and she's just like, whatever, It's like, what the fuck, man? I don't. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Pets are weird, man.
Pets are weird. Animals. I mean, okay, it's cool. Animals like me. I know that's supposed to be like a thing where it's like, if animals like you, you're not a serial killer or some whatever.
Right. It like animals are a natural judge of character.
Right. And that, cool. All right, cool. Animals like me. So but the problem is people like me too. And at the same time, it's like, go the fuck away from me. That's another thing. Like, Shasta gets mad at me because all of her friends like me. And I'm like, I don't even fucking talk to these people. I've met most of them like a few times.
Like, okay, do they like you or do they like you more than her?
They like me. I don't
Okay.
think more than her. But like, they'll laugh at my jokes and shit like that. And she's just like, oh, why don't people laugh at the things I say? And
You're
it's
just going around being Kevin.
yeah, I'm just
And
being
people are-
me,
and
I'm
people are
getting in
natu-
trouble for it.
People are
Like,
just naturally attracted to you.
apparently, I'm just, charismatic, even though I hate people. Anybody who knows me knows how much I hate the human race as a whole. Like, what was I? What the hell was I watching? Oh
Something.
my God. Oh man, I wish I could remember what that was. Um, oh, that's what it was. It was the Jim Carrey skit on Saturday Night Live where he does the Lincoln commercials as Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, and he's just like talking to himself. He's like, "The human race was a mistake and is a flame that should be extinguished." It's like that's literally fucking what I think about on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
man,
that
you know, it would be
was.
great if there was less people, way less people.
I actually have a friend who this is something like that happened way before I met him, and I met him like 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
he goes on. He like this new girl starts working with him. He used to work at the deli at Safeway up in Battleground.
Oh man, God, if I worked at a deli, I would be 100 pounds heavier. I swear to
Well,
God.
and that's the thing. He used to be,
Oh,
but like he was actively trying to get fired from that job at one point, and they just wouldn't because he was the only one who would do the fucking work. So, but
that's
anyway,
funny.
like new girl comes in, starts working with him. He asks her out on a date. They go on a date, and they get. Every time I think about it, it's fucking hilarious. They get to the end of the date. Like he drove her home. They're out in front of her house. She's sitting there waiting expectantly, and he sits there and he looks at her and goes, "If I had my way, I'd kill an eighth of the human population."
What a hero. What a fucking legend.
And she just
Oh,
gets out of the car and walks away.
what
She transferred stores within the week.
what a mad lad. I love it. That is the best story I think I've ever heard.
What? Okay, it gets even crazier. Like 5 years after this happens, he's doing, he's at work and he gets told that somebody's transferring from another store. It's her.
Oh shit. That's awesome. She came back for more.
I
Please tell me
know.
they're married now. Oh, if they
Well,
were
I
married
think
now.
I think when she came back, he had a girlfriend. So it was
Oh,
slightly less awkward, but I mean, you just told someone that you wanted to eradicate a significant amount of the human population. It's gonna be
I
awkward.
look, an eighth isn't that much, right?
Well, and that
I'd
was the
say we
thing is
could.
like he shared that story with some other friends of his, and they're like only an eighth.
Yeah, I mean a quarter. Realistically, we can get rid of a quarter. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah,
I
you're,
mean,
you're
as
not.
technology advances, we don't need as many people.
Yeah, it's. I
So,
mean, luckily the trend is people aren't having babies as much, so that helps.
which is yeah, that's great. I mean, we have way too many people on the planet as it is.
Yeah,
8 billion. What are we at? We're over 8 billion now, right? I'm assuming.
we're real damn close.
I'm sorry. I'm googling Earth population right now. Uh, this was in 2018. 2018, it was like 7.594 billion.
Yeah,
So 2 years growth. What are we looking at? 7.8.
yeah,
So yeah, 8 billion. I'm just gonna round up.
might as
Like,
well.
that's way too much,
That's a
man.
lot.
We can't sustain that much life on this planet. I think that's been said over and over.
Why do you think
But
COVID happened?
yeah,
Earth's fighting
but
back. That's what that is.
I know. And it's funny because like I'll be at work, people are like, man, I hope it gets better. I'm like, dude, I bet 2021 is gonna be so much worse. Or somebody's like, oh, I hope we have a vaccine for COVID. I'm like, I hope it fucking mutates. Like it spreads easy. I'm hoping it takes the plague Inca like approach and is like, all right, we can spread now. Now let's fucking kill. Like that's where I'm assuming it's going. It's
I
just plague Inc.
maybe
style.
it's some nasty shit
Yeah.
to say the least.
Oh yeah. I mean I have a friend who he's waiting on a test result. He might have it.
Oh, I had a friend who
Because
had it.
yeah.
He got it way early, like early March, and it knocked him on his ass for 9 weeks.
Yeah. I mean and the crazy thing is it affects everybody differently.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't know the long lasting effects of anything.
Oh God, the bit rate.
The uh-oh,
Oh
what's
God, the
happening?
bit rate.
Are we dropping off? What's
He just
happening?
got super pixelated.
Oh. Is it okay now? Are we good?
It's evening out. We're better.
Okay. Why am I dropping frames?
You weren't dropping
Or is
frames. You just got super. super
Or is
low,
Discord
super
being
low
weird?
res. It could be
That's
Discord.
weird. Okay. My connection's stable, so I don't even know why I'm like, am I downloading anything? I have fucking 1 gig. I don't. That's not an issue. It's never an issue.
Yeah, it's very likely on my end. Like
Okay.
Juliana was watching or downloading a game the other day, and I could only watch YouTube in 480p. I was dying.
Ah,
On a
yes.
4K screen. I was dying. It was
Yes. Look at all these
excruciating.
individual pixels.
Oh my god, I'm watching a human being on the screen, and they look like a fucking PlayStation 1 game.
An era of quality gaming,
I know, right? There's some damn good games that came out for the PlayStation 1.
dude, and PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah,
PS3 had great games. PS4 had great games. And
PlayStation
actually,
5 is gonna have great games.
and let's save that for the next episode because that since we're like what an hour 20 into this one already.
25.
So, 25. Okay,
Yeah.
your thing's like 4 minutes behind. Okay, at least transmitting. What the hell? It's
Well, we
telling me.
started not at noon.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Oh man, I'm actually really excited for the PlayStation for various reasons.
It
But
should be good.
We'll get into that
It
on the
should be
next
good.
episode because I could probably gush about that for a while. And how stupid Microsoft is. That I mean,
That's its
all
own-
of us knew
yeah.
that. So
Yeah, they
Microsoft, don't sponsor me. Sony, sponsor me. I would like a 4K TV and a PlayStation 5. Please and thank you.
Microsoft doesn't need to sponsor me because any of the games that they're making available on the Xbox Series X, I can just get on Steam.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't need an
Which-
extra client either.
Which, to be fair, is nice. I will say, like
It is
being
nice.
able to.
I'm super excited for the Dark Tide, the Warhammer 40K.
Oh yeah, that looks
Vermintide.
really good.
I'm super excited
That-
for that,
That has me really excited.
especially because it's fucking Nurgle.
Yeah,
Nurgle's my
I'm-
boy.
I'm really excited about that.
Sorry, I intend to play Death Guard. So praise Nurgle and his death and decay.
Yeah, but really, we could lose a quarter of the population. It'd be fine. So that's fine. We can revisit this on the next episode.
Blood
as
for
well.
the blood god. Anyway, thanks
Blood
for
the
watching.
blood god.
It's been a
What?
good time.
Are we at an hour and a half?
We're
already?
close enough.
Oh, all right.
I don't want to
We'll do
pad
these-
time, and I don't want to just keep. Well, let's talk about that in 5 minutes. Just
Yeah. All right. We did it. We survived another episode
yeah, we did.
somehow.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Sometimes I wonder if we're running out of stuff to talk about. I don't know though.
I haven't been paying attention to any news sources. I've been. Oh, I could tell you why I haven't been.
Yeah, 'cause
Next
people have
week-
been eating paint.
Well, that too.
Paint consumption takes up my time now.
It's not untrue. Just kind of sad. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.